Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity on the River's virtual Sunday service. I am Reverend Ogun Holder, and glad you've taken the time to watch it this morning or whenever it is, wherever it is that you are viewing us. Welcome to our online virtual community. We know that we are maybe separated by distance, but we are not separated by heart and by love. We are always one and we are always connected. Let us take that intention into a moment of opening prayer. So wherever you are, I invite you to gently close the eyes. Begin by taking a few deep breaths in. And with each breath, allow yourself to become even more centered in this moment. And we invite you to hold an intention of gratitude. Gratitude that even as these times of uncertainty continue, we know that we are still connected. We know that we are still spiritual community. We know that what lies before us is always an opportunity for us to show up as the divine. So I thank you. I thank you for each and every moment, for showing up as love, showing up as peace, showing up as grace, showing up as compassion. We are Unity on the River, and we are the light of the world. And for this, we are grateful. And so it is, and so let it be. Amen and amen. As always, we have a great service planned for you. We've got the boys in the shed with special guests, Hannah. Hey, Hannah. And the incomparable music director, Meg Rain, as always. So we're going to begin with the boys in the shed, turning it over to you, Brian, Keith, and Hannah. Take it away.
But a song we sing, fears the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading on the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. We hold the key to love and fear, all in the palms of our hands. Just one key unlocks them both, they're at your command. Bring it home, Hannah. Come on, people now. Smile on the brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now.
Beautiful, Brian. Beautiful, Hannah. Thank you, Keith. Awesome. So we're going to go to Shambhala, the place of nirvana, the place of deep love, compassion, mindfulness in the Tibetan pantheon of thought. Shambhala. 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 Turn to your neighbors and turn to your friends. Turn to your family and kiss them, and then turn to the sun and turn to the land. Turn, turn, turn again. In the great turning, the great turning. Turn to the earth and turn to the sky. Turn to your garden and plant your corn high. Turn to the winged ones the animals call. Turn, turn, turn to the all. In the great turning. The great turning. Shambhala, 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 Shambhala. Shambhala, 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 Shambhala. Turn to your heart and turn to your mind. Turn to compassion with insight and find. Turn to community, reach out to care. Turn, turn, turn and share in the great turning. It's the great turning. Shambhala, 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 Shambhala. Join me. Shambhala, 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 Shambhala. Shambhala, 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 Shambhala. Shambhala, 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 Shambhala.
So we continue in to center in that place that Meg said that Shambhala represents. And for us, that place can be found in the here and now. It is in our hearts. It is beyond our fears, beyond our anxieties, beyond our worries, beyond the squirrelings of the mind. Is that a word, squirrelings? It is now. Beyond the chatter, into the stillness. That's where our Shambhala lies in every moment. And we get there through the breath, through meditation. So I invite you now to prepare yourselves for a time of meditation. Get comfortable wherever you are, seated, lying, and we're going to allow Meg again to take us in to that still place.
Let go into the arms of love. Let go into the arms of love. Let go into the arms of love. Holy, 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 holy. Let go into the arms of love. Let go into the arms of love. Let go into the arms of love. Holy, 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 holy.
So we continue in this moment to let go into the arms of love. Let us continue to breathe, to fall into the stillness of this moment. With each exhale, allow the body to relax even more. Allow the attention to follow the breath. Return in should you become distracted by a thought, by a sensation in the body, by a sound. Let the breath pull you into stillness. Let the breath pull you into your heart. Breathe from the heart. Connect with our divine power of love. Love is our spiritual name and nature. It is the power to harmonize, to bring into alignment. It is the essence of the oneness that we are. Breathe love. Allow it to infuse your body and allow it to radiate out from you. You are a conduit of love. Affirm, I am love. I give love. On the inhale, silently affirm, I am love. And on the exhale, I give love. This is beyond a feeling. It is an action of compassion grounded in truth. I am love. I give love. Let us center in this for a few moments in the silence. I am love. I give love. When we affirm and center in this, when we think, speak, and act from this, God's love is felt in, through, and as us. when we speak, think, and act from love, we are God's presence. So we bring this time of meditation to a close, remembering that we are indeed the presence of the divine. As we sing together, surely the presence.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Thank you, Meg. Surely the presence of the Lord is in every place that we are, because, as I shared in our meditation, as we know and affirm in unity, we are the fullness of the divine in potential. And our job is to bring that potential into reality, into visibility. And we do this, most of all, through love, through acts of compassion. Last week, on part 6 of Advice for the Heart, we're still in our series of When Things Fall Apart. I invited you to observe yourself and how do you respond to obstacles that come your way. I shared the story about the Buddha being attacked with arrows and they turn into flowers as they approached him, a well-known Buddhist legend. So the journey for us is, how do we respond to obstacles? And when things come our way, do we see them as arrows and daggers coming to attack us? Or are we able to see them again as opportunities for us to show up as love and thus transform them into flowers? And at the end of the talk last week, I invited you to, as you observe yourself and truly be honest and objective with how you respond, do it from a place of compassion. Never from a place of, I should know better. The truth is, in every moment is a new opportunity. Every moment that we see it as an arrow and it hits us as an arrow, we know there's the opportunity to be compassionate with ourselves and change our minds or views or beliefs so that the next time it's a flower, a shower of petals. We see it for what it is, simply opportunities for us to be love, to show up as love, and see the obstacle as opportunity. It's a theme that you'll hear me refer to often, again and again. It's simply because I believe we can't hear it enough times. And again, these last few months for all of us has been opportunities to see these obstacles as just that, opportunities, not things being taken from us, not us being attacked in the midst of things and people that we may have lost over the last few months. Again, opportunities to sit with those feelings of the loss, of the grief, of the it didn't go my way. It's not going our way, but simply sit with them, observe yourself, and in so doing, see what areas within your own heart, within your own self, are asking to be loved up just a little bit more, to be transformed. So today I want to talk a little bit more about compassion itself. In the book, she's got a chapter called Widening the Circle of Compassion. Because ultimately, when we talk about love in action, when we speak about God as love, us as love, love being one of our divine powers, the truth of who we are, again, it's not about feeling or emotional love. It's about how we act, how we show up in the world, what we do. And love most shows up by acts of compassion and kindness. This is how we make love visible. But it begins with ourselves. When we speak of acts of compassion and kindness, it's as much working with ourselves as it is working with other people and individuals. Here's why it's important that we do as much work, I would argue even more about ourselves, because I don't know if you realize this, she points this out, but a lot of times we, with really good intentions, set out to help other people and do great works and acts of compassion. And then we might find ourselves after a while fading in enthusiasm, not helping as much, maybe even begin to build a little resentment around the very acts of compassion that we are seeking. It might be because we're working so hard and we see nothing different happening, and we may think this is pointless. But what often happens sometimes is when we help others, our own unresolved issues around ourselves get triggered. And then we begin to resent the very people or situation we're trying to help out. Because of course we never see it as our issue. It's always see it as outside of ourselves. So we resent the thing outside of ourselves. And then when we resent the thing outside of ourselves, then it turns to blame, and we start to blame the people and blame the system and blame the government and blame and blame and blame. We do a lot of blame because what it ultimately does is projects our focus outward and protects our heart from the pain of looking inward and the work of transforming ourselves. It provides a kind of a buffer. Blame is a buffer. If we blame them, then we don't have to do the work to transform ourselves. When we blame them, then our focus becomes about making it right, as opposed to again, transforming ourselves. We want to have it our way, so we got to go and fix it again, rather than turn inwards. And I think we all have some experience of turning inwards and looking at our wounds and looking at our unresolved issues and realizing it hurts. It hurts to do the work to transform them. It hurts to revisit those places. It hurts to revisit the memories of loss and abandonment. It hurts, and we don't want to hurt. As you've heard it said many times in the series, we are addicted to avoiding the pain of loneliness, the pain of abandonment. So how do we get to a place where we can be compassionate without it leading to resentment and anger and blame? As always, we begin by not wanting it to be any different, whatever comes up. Feel what we're feeling without trying to push it away. Because ultimately what happens is the thing in other people, and we all know this, the thing in other people that trigger us, that we resent them for, is the very things within ourselves that we don't like. The parts of ourselves that we wish we didn't have to be. So we've had to feel what we're feeling, and then we have to fully accept even those parts of ourselves that we don't like. Whatever it is, whatever is the story that you have made up about yourself that may tell you you are less than, or you're not worthy, or you're not lovable, or there's something physically wrong with you, or something emotional, whatever it is about yourself or part of you that you don't like, That's the part you've got to do the most work to accept. Because it's not about right or wrong. It's about who you are ultimately. And if there's anything you want to transform about yourself, you can't unless you accept it. You got to accept it first. There's a Buddhist saying she shares in the book that says, drive all blames into oneself. Drive all blames into oneself. It doesn't mean that we beat up on ourselves. It doesn't mean that we keep telling ourselves we're wrong. That's not what that means. But what it is really realizing is the realization that the blame never lies outside of ourselves, and that the pain that we often feel comes from our desire to have it our way and hold on to having it our way so tightly. And when it doesn't look like it's going our way, then that's when the resentment happens, and then it's when we blame others. Okay? So once we can realize that, get in the habit of thinking there's nothing out there we need to blame, then we can start looking inward when we become upset and become resentful and say, what is it within me that just got triggered that I need to take a look at? That is being compassionate with ourselves. The compassion we have for ourselves is the compassion that we will have for other people. This is why I've said this many times again, relationships are our best spiritual practice. And I just don't mean romantic relationships, any relationships, friends, colleagues, other people in your congregations, whoever. Whenever there's someone in your life, they will inevitably trigger something in you that makes you feel uncomfortable, because they're reflecting that part of you that maybe you have yet to accept within yourself. That part of you that you have not extended unconditional compassion and love towards yourself. This is what it means to be God as love. Because what we're doing when we are compassionate with ourselves first, and then we extend that compassion to other people, we're bringing the absolute principle of love that is God into the relative world experience. We say that it's there, but the only way we can experience it is through and as us. The only way we can experience the principle, the absolute principle of love that is God, is through and as us. In the meditation, we breathe, I am love and I give love. Unless we fully accept that and do that, then love will not be made known. And until we are fully accepting ourselves, then we're not fully loving ourselves. And therefore, we cannot fully love others. So it begins with us. One of the things that came up for me as I was reading these chapters was that it's an interesting time to read them, as we've also been talking the last few weeks around anti-racism work. Because for me, it was a weird, what's the word I want? Juxtaposition. They seemed not to line up. The idea of not blaming, not seeking to make it right, to just feel what is coming up and accept the parts of ourselves that we don't like and enjoy. It seemed a little bit opposite to, well, let's go out and dismantle racism. Let's go out and do the work so that we can bring that equality. And I speak about that. But then I remembered, we are all one. And what this means is, when any of us are oppressed, we are all oppressed. You've heard it said, none of us will be free until all of us are free. When we look at racism, racism is such an insidious cancer. This is a word that that the author of How to Be Anti-Racist speaks to it as. And it's a cancer that affects both the oppressed and the oppressor. There are no winners in a system where the policies of how we choose to be with each other, govern each other, create the world, there is no winner when it is based in discrimination, in racism, in separateness, in classism, in misogyny. There is no winners when we treat women as less than men. There's no winners when we do not see those with less than as just as valuable as those who have much. There are no winners when we treat other people, regardless of their race, their ethnicity, their sexual orientation, their sexual identity. If there are no winners when we see them as anything other than equal to who we are. So the very act of change in a system is truly an act of compassion because it is bringing love to all. As always, we start from that place of centeredness and loving ourselves first. We don't seek to change a system from a place of hate. We seek to change a system from the place of love. And that love begins with ourselves. Dismantling racism is an act of compassion, an act of love. Voting for policies that support equality, that support equanimity, that support a system that works for all. This is an act of compassionate love. We get tied up into the who is doing what, who is running, who do we vote for? Take the who out of the equation. Look at the what. What are the policies? What are the principles that we are saying this is how we want to govern ourselves by? This is how we want to agree to live with each other. This is ultimately how love shows up in the world. So compassionate love does not mean inaction. Sitting with our feelings and observing what parts of us are triggered so that we can transform them, yes, that takes time and that takes patience, but that does not equal inaction. God as love is not a feeling. God as love is an action of compassionate work. So my invitation to you this week is truly first to ask yourself, how compassionate am I with myself? How compassionate am I with others in my life? How am I making that compassion be love in action? This is how we create the world that works for everyone. And this is how we become messengers of light and love and peace. Compassion with ourselves, compassion with the world, compassion in action. So I look forward to seeing the transformation that you choose to take on for yourselves and for the world in the next few weeks, in the next few months, the next few years, for the rest of your life. It's not a one-shot deal. This is an every moment invitation. And I know you're up for it. So I invite you to take a deep breath right now. Again, center in your heart space. And for today, whether you believe it or not, begin by affirming, I am love and I love myself fully. I am love. I love myself fully. Observe if there's any discomfort in any area of your life that comes up when you say that. Again, don't wish it away. Simply observe it. Accept it. Sit with it. Send it the very love that you seek it was. I am love. I love myself fully. And so it is. And so we let it be. Amen and amen. So in this moment, I'm assuming that your hearts are open. You swung wide the doors of your heart. You're ready to do some compassionate work with yourself. And we're going to remind ourselves of that. Going to turn it back over to the boys in the shed. They remind us some more to swing wide those heart doors. Go ahead, Brian and Keith, take it away.
2, 3, 4. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors, let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Take it, Keith. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I've learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. All together now. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Yeah, nicely done, guys. Love it, love it, love it. Swing wide the doors. Just a few announcements before we wrap up today's service. If you're watching this Sunday morning, our build-in farewell service, the first of 2 services, will be happening this evening. We have changed the start time to 5 p.m. because at 5 p.m. is when that shade from the tree starts to move over the back of the outside, and we know it's gonna be toasty this evening. So bring your umbrellas, bring lots of water, stay hydrated. Please wear a mask or face covering, and also bring your outdoor seating, lawn chair, beach chair, whatever. We are going to be outdoors. The band's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are also having the bookstore inventory blowout sale. Bookstore will be open from 4 and will be open after the service as well. And we will have an opportunity, if some of you want to make a processional, social distance processional through the building after the outdoor service, to give it an individual blessing. So again, if you're watching this Sunday morning, we will see you, some of you, this evening at 5. Again, you had to have signed up before. We are trying to keep our numbers at a manageable place so that we can be spread out. This is why we're having 2 services. We're going to have the same service again at 5 next week. So either come if you sign up for this evening, or you signed up for next week. Also happening, we had a wonderful workshop, The Inclusive Site of Oneness, with Dr. Joel Brown. Him and his colleague are going to do part 2 of that workshop because it was received so well. And this will take place on August 1st, Saturday, August 1st from 1 to 4 p.m. You can go to unityontheriver.org/classes to sign up for that now. If you've not seen the series that I did with Dr. Brown, it's called The Face of America. It's on our YouTube channel. Please go check it out. We speak to the important work of being an anti-racist, and also what it means for us as spiritual people, spiritual seekers, who sometimes have challenge with that conflict and that sort of work. So please check that out. If you're watching Sunday morning and it's not 11 o'clock yet, please join us for virtual Zoom hospitality. All the details are on our webpage, unityontheriver.org. And as always, we want to thank you for the donations that you share with us. We know that this is a time for some of you where you might be out of work or reduced work and maybe not able to give as much. And we know that there are some of you for whom this has not been the situation. You're continuing to work and have income. We invite you to remember that even in this modified way we're doing service, we still have bills to pay. We still have mortgage to pay. We still have some staff to pay, so that we can continue to have community. So we are very grateful for you continuing to invest in your spiritual community. Head over to unityontheriver.org/donate, or you can set up a text to give option on your phone. Text the word give to 833-702-4337. It's just a one-time setup. And then you can use a credit card, Google Pay, Apple Pay, make it real quick. You can still also mail checks to us. We're still going to be at 58 Macy Street for a few more weeks. People keep asking, what are you doing next? Where you're going? And I keep reminding them, we are still looking at places. And even if we found a place, we couldn't gather in a large group safely indoors yet, because let's not forget, we're still in the midst of a pandemic. Even though, you look out in the news and some people don't seem to think that that's what's happening. So that's where we are with that right now. And if this is still troubling you, I really invite you to revisit the last 6 talks of When Things Fall Apart and get the book. It is the book for this time. It is the book that truly helps us to stay grounded, stay in our hearts, stay at peace during times of upheaval, during times of uncertainty, during times of loss. This is an opportunity of great spiritual transformation for us. We just got to embrace it and see it that way. And when we do so, we reside in peace. And we know that peace begins with us. So let us end today with "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Take it away, Brian and Keith. As soon as we unmute them. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be with God this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And we affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God, wait, we said that one already. The presence of God watches over us. Is that the next one?
That's the power of God.
The power of God is right. The power of God protects us.
We are
We're the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of
Presence of God. COVID brain, people. COVID brain. Wherever we are, God is.
God is, and all is well.
And
And we are richly blessed.
Namaste.